If you're watching this video, chances are you're familiar with that uncomfortable feeling that seems to live in your chest, the heart that suddenly races, the thoughts that won't stop spinning, that constant worry that something might go wrong. Anxiety has this cruel way of making us feel like we're always chasing something, always on alert, always unsure. Maybe you've already tried everything: deep breathing, exercise, even medication. And still, it lingers, like an unwanted companion that refuses to leave. You're not alone in this struggle. In fact, more people than you might think carry this silent burden of anxiety. Today, I want to share with you a different perspective on anxiety, one that comes from someone who devoted his life to deeply understanding the human soul, Carl Rogers. He was a revolutionary psychologist who believed that within each of us lies a natural wisdom, an innate capacity to heal and grow. Rogers didn't see anxiety as a flaw that needed fixing or a weakness to be eliminated. To him, anxiety was a signal, a message that something important was happening inside of us. It was our very nature trying to tell us that we were living disconnected from who we truly are. Imagine for a moment that you were born as a seed. Inside that seed was already all the potential to become a strong and unique tree. Rogers called this the actualizing tendency, that natural force within us that pushes us to grow, to become who we truly are. But here's the problem. From a very young age, we start receiving messages about how we should be. Be quieter, be smarter, don't be so sensitive, you need to toughen up. These messages, even when coming from people who love us, create an approved version of who we think we need to be. And so we begin to live a divided life. On one side, we have our true nature, that authentic person we are deep down. On the other side, we have this image of who we believe we must be in order to be accepted and loved. Rogers understood that anxiety is born precisely in this conflict, between being who we are and trying to be who we think we should be. Think about the last time you felt anxious. There was probably a situation where you were worried about not being good enough, about not meeting expectations, about being rejected or judged. That's anxiety trying to warn us, hey, you're drifting too far from who you really are. It's as if our soul is constantly trying to bring us back home, to our true nature. But our mind, full of shoulds and have-tos, keeps fighting back. And in this inner battle, anxiety is born. Rogers discovered something revolutionary. The healing of anxiety doesn't lie in trying to change it or eliminate it, but in learning to relate to it in a completely different way. He called this unconditional acceptance, or more simply put, loving ourselves exactly as we are, including our anxiety. That might sound strange at first. What do you mean? Accept anxiety? Aren't we supposed to fight it? But think about it this way. When you meet a friend who is suffering, what's your natural response? Do you criticize them for being in pain? Tell them to just stop? Of course not. You offer comfort, understanding, and stay by their side. Rogers invites us to do the same with ourselves. Instead of seeing our anxiety as an enemy, we can begin to see it as a part of us that's scared, one that needs care and understanding. It's like there's a child within us who is afraid, and instead of scolding them, we can simply say, I see you're scared. It's okay to feel this. I'm here with you. When Rogers worked with anxious people, he didn't try to convince them that their fears were irrational. Instead, he helped them explore those feelings with curiosity and kindness. What is your anxiety trying to protect you from? He might ask. What part of you is feeling vulnerable? This shift in perspective is powerful because it moves us out of the position of being at war with ourselves and into the position of being compassionate caretakers of our own experience. And here's the paradox. When we stop fighting our anxiety and start welcoming it, it naturally begins to transform. Rogers deeply believed that every person has an inner compass, a natural wisdom that knows what is truly best for them. But anxiety often arises when we lose touch with that compass, when we start living based on what others expect from us instead of what we genuinely feel and need. Think about the moments in your life when you felt most at peace. They were probably times when you were being completely yourself, maybe alone in nature, creating something you love, or in a deep conversation with someone who truly understood you. In those moments, you weren't trying to be anyone else. You were at home within yourself. From this perspective, anxiety becomes almost like a teacher. It shows us where we're betraying ourselves, where we're living in ways that don't align with our inner truth. When we begin to notice our patterns of anxiety, we can ask gentle questions. In what situations do I feel most anxious? What am I afraid others will find out about me? Where do I feel like I can't be myself? Rogers found that when people began to live more authentically, when they stopped trying to impress others and started honoring their own needs and feelings, anxiety naturally began to fade. Not because it was pushed away, but because it no longer had a reason to be there. It's like taking off clothes that don't fit you. You don't need to fight to remove them. You simply choose something that feels more true to who you are. Anxiety is often the discomfort of wearing a life that doesn't truly belong to you. Now, I'd like to invite you to take a moment to pause, not to fix your anxiety, not to change it, but simply to meet it with kindness. Take a deep breath and gently ask yourself with genuine curiosity, how is my anxiety right now? What is it trying to tell me? Maybe it's telling you that you've been too hard on yourself. Maybe it's warning you that you're living the life others want for you instead of your own. Maybe it's simply asking to be seen and held, like a child needing attention. What Rogers teaches us is that we don't need to have all the answers right now. We don't need to heal our anxiety today. What we can do is begin to relate to it in a more loving way. We can stop seeing it as an enemy and start seeing it as a part of us that deserves understanding. In the coming days, when anxiety shows up, try this. Instead of trying to make it go away, simply acknowledge its presence. Hello, anxiety. I see you. What do you need from me right now? You don't need an immediate answer. Just the act of asking the question with kindness is already a first step. Remember what Rogers always said, you have within you a wisdom that knows the way. Your anxiety is not proof that you are weak or broken. It's proof that you are human, that you care, that there is a part of you longing to live more truthfully and authentically. The journey to finding peace with our anxiety doesn't happen overnight. It's a gentle process of rediscovering ourselves, of learning to trust our inner wisdom, of finding the courage to be who we truly are. Carl Rogers dedicated his life to reminding us of something we often forget. You are enough exactly as you are. Your anxiety does not define you. Your fears do not make you less. You are a whole person with a natural capacity to grow and to heal. If this video touched your heart in any way, leave a like so that more people can find this compassionate perspective. Share it with someone you know who's also struggling with anxiety. Sometimes just knowing we're not alone is already a great relief. And let me know in the comments, how do you relate to your anxiety? What insights came up for you while watching this video? Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Subscribe to the channel for more content on personal growth and self-awareness through the wisdom of great thinkers like Carl Rogers. Because we all deserve to live with more peace, authenticity, and self-love. Until the next video, remember, you are not alone on this journey. And within you already exists everything you need to find your way back home to who you truly are.